All right. Hello, 484 students. Hope you are all doing well. Heading into Module 12, wanted to go over the overview and learning materials with you. For this particular week, you only have a couple of assignments, but your one HCD assignment that you've got to work on is going to be rather substantive. It is going to require you to prototype your HCD ideas after you've done all of this research, after you've done all of these surveys and collected all of this data, and kind of went through and curated it all, just put it into categories and then distilled it down into this one actionable idea, then discussed with your supervisor what that idea is going to be and taken a few refinements and pointers from them. Now you have to actually build a prototype. Think of this as like your rough draft for a term paper. You want to write a rough draft in order to have an editable version of it. It's not the final thing that you want to send in. It's not your glowing final product that you've just spent hours toiling over. This is really just a way for you to get some sort of product built. In various industries, we call this an MVP, a minimum viable product, and it's just something that is working enough to have users use it, go through it, tell you what needs to be fixed, what needs to be made better, even though you may be painfully aware of what's already bad about it anyway. But to have feedback from actual users will help enlighten you as to what actually needs to be done moving forward. So let's take a look at what you're going to do. Remember, day 1 and 2, we want you to watch this video that you're watching right now. It's kind of like ironic. I think that you're like watching the video that I'm telling you to watch. I don't know, whatever. Read your materials. I know that there's been some confusion on the Design Kit website and on some of the resources that were included in the Google document template. More on that later. We'll talk about that at length. Then your internship activities. Just make sure that you're spending at least 4 hours doing your internship activities this week and 2 hours working on your HCD activities that pertain to your internship. This really is to create your prototype, meet with your supervisor, and get feedback on the prototype that you created. And then finally, on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, finish up your work, finish up your last yellow dig posts, finalize that HCD work, put the finishing touches on it, and make sure you turn it in. In Module 10, there were a multitude of missing assignments, and folks, this is really crunch time. This is when we have to get things done, because if we go into Module 13, 14, that's 2 weeks until the end of the semester. We really have to get these things taken care of now. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you need help, reach out to your instructor. We are here to assist you. Go to Slack first, reach out through Slack. That's going to be the easiest way to get a hold of them. And then finally go through email. We all have links listed in the About Your Instructors page to set up a time to meet live if you need to meet live through online means. So please schedule that time. All right, so you got 3 assignments this week. You got building your prototype, which is 40 points, yellow dig, and then your timesheet entry. Folks, make sure you're staying up on those timesheet entries. It's so very important. Now it says, please review rapid prototype, build and run prototypes, prototype mapping, prototype report cards, storyboard, and role play. These links right here, the Design Kit website was updated. Unbeknownst to our instructional designers and to us, the company just decided to update the website with no notification whatsoever. So we do apologize if there has been some confusion or frustration about that, but we will remedy that. So please check the announcements. There is an announcement that just came out introducing this module, but there's also a follow-up announcement that has 2 URLs directly embedded as hyperlinks into the announcement page. So please check those out. But really, basically, what it gets down to is this right here. This is going to be your new and improved, one of a kind, limited edition design kit. And so this is where you'll see your rapid prototype report card, storyboards, and role plays. So all the links that you're going to need, all the essential links are going to be in here. You may need to click around a little bit. I haven't spent too much time in this area, but you're still in the ideation phase. So just stay under the ideation kind of umbrella, and you will find those additional things with prototyping. Okay, so again, super important that you do this. obviously we understand that there's been some frustration with this, and we're doing our best to resolve that. This is the fix that we have for now, but I highly recommend you doing the absolute best you can to really dig deep into that newly designed resource there for you. Okay. All right, and then so the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to head over to your assignment. Your assignment is going to be your rapid prototype, and you're going to have to do this template right here. So this template is a Google document. Now, again, these two, this particular URL, they're not functioning properly. Some of you have stated that in messages and emails. Yes, I understand that. But if you just go to the announcement that I sent, those live URLs will be there for you. Please just use those. Those will help you get through this. Let's go through this one more time. So the module readings, please make sure that you are doing your best to analyze those readings and then give your own analysis of it. Tell us what you think, not just your opinion of it, but tell us what you've learned from it, how this is going to help you go on to rapid prototype something. So, for example, I might say, according to IDEO.org or according to the design kit on page whatever, it says that rapid prototyping is essential for us to get a rough draft. Well, I think that that's a great idea. So here's how I'm going to go and do that. So these statements need to be not just worksheet size statements, they need to be very verbose. So please fill those out. Think 200 to 300 words. Then down here in part one, you determine what to build. And this really helps you kind of, I don't want you guys to get wrapped up in this too much. This is important, but this should be quick. This is rapid prototyping. Think of it from the user's perspective. What are all the things that the user will experience whenever they come to your website, or whenever they engage in your program, or whenever by the end of this training, the user will do this or the learner will do this. Think of all the things. In learning, we call this task analysis. In instructional design, we call this task or an item analysis. So you have to think of all of the different instances that you might interact with your user, or that your user might interact with your product. Very important that this is well thought out. But again, this is rapid prototyping, so you are trying to get through this quickly. Okay. Ideally, your HCD project is trying to solve a problem. And so what can this do? What will it solve? What will you improve upon? How can you make something better, easier, help people understand things more? Then in part two, you're going to actually build your prototype. And when I say this, people automatically think like, wait, I have to build something? Like what, out of Legos? No, you don't. When we say build your prototype, it's literally build it with words. Tell me what it's going to look like. Tell me what it's going to sound like. Tell me what materials you're going to need. Tell me what objectives you hope to accomplish. Tell me how you're going to assess whether or not learning occurred. Tell me whether or not there needs to be a projector in the room. Tell me whether or not there needs to be books. Tell me whether or not there needs to be handouts or graphic organizers. Tell me whether or not you need a PowerPoint presentation. You need to incorporate these things to build yourself a clear picture of what it's actually going to take to do this. Because remember, next semester, you are actually going to do this. So ideally, what you want to do is rapid prototype this now, try to work out some of the kinks, and then you have a better plan moving forward into the latter phases of implementation. So remember, we're still in ideation. We're going to be here until the end of the semester, but we will get there eventually. Please then communicate your ideas. So as part of determining the test, you need to make sure that your supervisor is okay with you testing it, and then go ahead and test it. And don't test it right now, but you're going to do this later on in subsequent modules. So you're going to do that. Please make sure that, again, that you're filling this out, that you're doing 200-300 words per prompt. I know that might seem like a lot, but remember, this is not a worksheet. This is actually just a template for you to guide your narrative responses to these. So if you need help with that, please let me know. I can guide you to the right resources. ASU has exceptional writing resources, as well as direct tutoring for our online students. So please let me know. Other than that, pretty standard stuff. Fill out your timesheets. Please make sure that you're filling those out and turning those in. And Oh, one more thing I wanted to address with everybody. Please make sure that you're updating your sharing preferences on your documents properly. Um, been a lot of uh, uh, not sharing properly in a lot of documents that I've had to reach back out to people, that Chris and Raylan have had to reach back out to people. We're beyond that phase. We should not ever have to do that. So that will be something that um, that's as a student, that's your responsibility. Please make sure that those sharing preferences are updated properly. Okay. And then, of course, your yellow dig assignments. Please make sure that you're keeping up with those and engaging in your community. Thank you, and let me know if you have any questions.